Who decides your worth? Breaking the chains of inequality, how many times have you felt less than others, just because someone decided your voice, your way, or your appearance is worth less? We live in a world that insists on building invisible walls between people, walls made of prejudice, judgments based on appearance, accent, skin color, social class, or any detail that seems too different from the imposed standard. Once a man checked into a hotel. He followed all the protocols, but after going to his room, he felt something strange. Returning to the front desk, he was met with a rule that seemed to say, "Here, you don't count if you're not like us." The clerk said he couldn't stay because animals were prohibited. "But I didn't bring any animal," the man replied. "I am an animal." Confused, the clerk responded, "But you're not an animal like us." The man then said, "I am an animal, and so are you." It was a reality check, because sometimes the only difference between people is empathy, or the lack of it. This simple situation reveals a sad truth. Prejudice silently divides us, people who matter and people who don't. Many say, based on arbitrary and unfair criteria, they talk about equality, but in practice, many still believe some deserve more respect, more opportunities, more voice than others. If we're not all animals on this journey of life, then what are we? How often have you heard empty phrases, rehearsed words that claim everyone is equal, but hide a bitter truth? Companies that say, "Here everyone is equal," from the janitor to the CEO, but show favoritism, subtle discrimination, and disguised exclusion daily. Proclaimed equality is often superficial, a phrase for show, but real coexistence doesn't reflect that promise. Words have power, and when someone says, "You don't talk like us, you don't dress like us, or you're not one of our tribe," they're excluding you, telling you you're worth less. Politically, it's no different. Politicians on stage speak of bringing education and healthcare to the people, as if the people were distant, disconnected from governance itself. The truth is this distance only grows when mediocre mindsets accept abandonment and Dante fight for real change. The problem isn't physical distance, but the lack of genuine human connection and the absence of true will to include and value everyone. We cannot accept mediocre coexistence. Change starts with each of us, in our gaze, words, and daily actions. During a visit to a school for deaf children, a man witnessed a scene that changed his worldview. There were children who couldn't hear, but danced and sang to the rhythm they felt in their bodies. Guided by a teacher who helped them experience music through vibrations. When he thanked the children, one 6-year-old boy responded, "I'm not deaf. I'm here to learn to communicate better with my parents, who are deaf." That small sentence spoke louder than any speech, showing that love and the desire for connection are greater than any limitation. This experience taught a deep lesson. True inclusion isn't just offering space, but building emotional bridges of respect and understanding. Humanity's greatest challenge is to look at others and see them fully, with their pain, limits, and strengths. Every person carries a story of struggle and hope, and that story deserves to be heard and valued. We live in times when doing the minimum is no longer enough. When a harsh cold wave hit a city, many mobilized to distribute clothes and blankets to those in need, not because it was the government's duty, but because humanity demands gestures beyond routine. No one dies of cold or hunger, they die of abandonment. This means life's true pain lies in lack of care and shelter, and this care is what sets us apart as humans. The pediatrician who warms their hands before touching a child, the teacher who enchants the classroom to be more than just a duty, the neighbor who shares what little they have, all build an invisible web of love and solidarity. Generosity goes beyond formality. It's choosing the path of the heart, doing more than the bare minimum. And when we do this, we change realities, we change lives. The wise Saint Benedict taught us 3 ways to fail: not teaching what you know, not practicing what you preach, and not asking about what you don't know. Reverse those, and you have the formula for true success. First, share knowledge generously, without fear or reserve, knowing that wisdom multiplies when shared. Second, live ethically. Practice what you preach. Be an example through actions, not just words. Third, cultivate intellectual humility. Recognize you don't know everything and stay open to learning from others and the world. These 3 virtues, generosity, coherence, and humility, are pillars for building a dignified, respectful, and purposeful life. Among them, intellectual humility is the most precious. It teaches that knowledge is an endless journey, and the more we know, the more we realize there's still much to learn. Humility is not submission, it's strength. It means understanding that diverse opinions, constructive criticism, and open dialogue are tools for growth. The intellectually humble listen to dissenting voices, question their own certainties, and are always ready to grow. This stance avoids mediocrity by keeping the mind active, critical, and flexible. The world changes fast, ideas evolve, and those who don't keep up get left behind. Embrace the unknown, celebrate the learning journey, and know that only together can we build a better future. Your worth doesn't depend on what others say, rules made to exclude, or shallow opinions denying your dignity. Your worth is infinite because you are human, because you feel, struggle, and transform. Don't let anyone set your price. In a world that insists on creating divisions, be the bridge. In a society still choosing who matters more, be an example of respect, empathy, and love. Be the one who acts, who extends a hand, who cares. Because real change starts with one internal decision, to recognize your own worth and the worth of others. Today, I challenge you. Look around and ask yourself, what can I do to break the invisible chains of inequality? What act of generosity can I offer without expecting anything in return? What knowledge can I share to light someone's path? Change begins with you. Don T. Wait for the world to be different to act. Be the change you want to see. Start now, with small acts, respectful words, and a commitment to value every life. Share this message, inspire others. Together we can build a world where everyone matters, where no one is left behind, and where respect is the foundation of all.